And now, if you have kids, you may have told them to put a lid on it, you know, but we're not talking about keeping it down or being quiet. Lids for Kids is an annual bike helmet giveaway and bicycle safety event for children and their families. This thing's been going on for well over a decade. It's an event that Fox 17 is very proud to be a part of. And joining me now with more is Tom Constant, president of the Brain Injury Association of Michigan, and Tom Sinas of Sinas Dramis Law Firm. Hi, Tom and Tom.
How are you?
How are you?
Good morning.
It's like a morning radio show. It's the Tom and Tom show. I love it. So let's talk a little bit about the event and why it is so important. I think, Tom, you've got a great example of why it is so important for kids to be wearing, and adults, to be wearing their helmets when they're riding a bike.
That's right. So I have a 5-year-old daughter named Nora, and last year she got her helmet at Lids for Kids, and she was riding her scooter through the neighborhood last summer, not going very fast, caught a lip in the sidewalk, fell over the front of her scooter handlebars, not going fast at all. And here is what happened to her helmet, if you can see.
Yeah,
it's cracked.
Yeah, there is a good-sized crack in that. And now, as a parent, I'm sure the very first thing you did was thank your heavenly stars that she was wearing that, because you imagine that being her head.
That's exactly right. And we are so blessed that she is fine, and she was fine right away. But if she didn't have this helmet on, imagine what just that low-speed impact could have done to her. So
Absolutely. This
is why we do the event.
And Tom, you can tell us exactly what that would have or could have done to her. What type of brain injury can that cause?
That's a concussion. A concussion is a brain injury, and they can be quite severe. What's important to note is that nationally it's estimated that 85% of injuries can be prevented simply by wearing a bike helmet. And when you consider that against the fact that injuries and deaths have risen in the state of Michigan over the past 2 years from bike accidents, it's so important to ingrain at an early age the habit of wearing that helmet every time you get on a bike. When we were kids, we didn't even give that a thought. The world has changed dramatically now. And so it's so important that kids not only wear a helmet, but that it's fitted properly. And that's one of the important things that we do at Lids for Kids.
And it's just as commonplace now as putting on your seatbelt in a car. When we were younger, you might not have worn a seatbelt. It wasn't the law. Now that it just becomes second nature for us, we'd like helmets on kids and adults to be second nature if you're going to hop on a bike.
That's correct.
Obviously.
And it's important that adults set that proper example. When you go and ride with your kids, make sure and put your lid on as well.
Okay, so Lids for Kids. Let's talk about the event, Tom. When and where we're going to go, and since 2003, is that right?
That's right, and since 2003 in Lansing, and then since 2014 in Grand Rapids. Here's what you need to know for this year's event. It is Saturday, June 10th, from 10 to noon at Garfield Park in Grand Rapids. All you need to do is make sure you bring the children that you want to have fitted for a bike helmet. The goal of the event is to not only give away a bike helmet, but to make sure it's properly fitted. So for as many kids as will show up, we will work as hard as we can over those 2 hours to get them fitted with a free bike helmet. We're also going to be raffling off free bikes and a ton of amazing prizes from donations around the community. So hopefully the kids will stay and they'll hang out, they'll have a good time, and they'll leave the event thinking, you know what, bike helmets are cool and I'm going to wear mine the rest of the summer.
And it's not just enough to have the bike helmet on, you want it to fit properly, right? You want to make sure that there are, just like a baby seat for your car, there are right ways and wrong ways to have one of these on.
There is. There's the rule of 2 that we always talk about. And when you take a bike helmet and put it on, and this is an example of a bike helmet that needs to be the proper size for my Goodyear blimp head, but when you put the straps on, it's important to put no more than 2 fingers in between that chin strap and the bottom of your child's chin. Likewise, the lid of the helmet across the brow, and between that and your eyebrows, 2 fingers.
Okay. That's 2 fingers for the brow,
here,
2 fingers underneath.
Correct.
That's fitted correctly.
That's the standard,
okay.
yes.
And that's what you want to do. And if you don't have a bike helmet, can't afford a bike helmet, maybe you need a new bike helmet. Lids for Kids is the event to go to. To go there, it's absolutely free. There's no charge to go. You'll get a helmet. You'll get it fitted correctly. Maybe kids can bring their own helmets if they have one and make sure they're fitted correctly. And you could win some great prizes, including bikes. So bring your bike out and go for a bike ride afterwards, right?
Perfect.
That's right.
Tom, thank you so much for the information, and thank you so much again, Sinas Dramis Law Firm, for putting this event on. It's such an important thing for your kids. Save those noggins. Lids for Kids, Saturday, June 10th, 10 a.m. to noon. You heard Garfield Park. That's on Burton and Jefferson entrance is where you want to go in. More information waiting for you online, lidsforkidsmi.org.